Army officers are so lonely up there that
Absolutely.
leaving them kind of feels like it's our fault. In one day, we kind of got the entire pipeline done to the school and we
Okay.
made sure that the water gets there. It was minus 11 when we
Oh,
went there. It's loud gunshot that we heard, and we were the ones who were firing.
tell us what did you learn from the various aspects of training? The physical training has, of course, got that physical discipline in
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Uh, uh, do you do horse riding in foundation course as well? Did you do, or
So
you
it's
did
not
it only in phase
compulsory
one?
now. It's not compulsory for anybody now. So they've
Oh, not even
divided
for phase
into,
one?
not even for phase one. They've divided it into five or six activities, and then you can choose.
So did you choose
So
horse riding or no?
I chose long distance running, and that is
Okay.
something that I've gotten into now in life.
Right.
Extremely nice. A lot of
Okay.
horse riding people actually broke their backs.
Okay.
But
No, anyways,
it was so much fun. Yeah.
those are trained horses anyways.
Yeah, and
But
their staff is extremely trained. I mean, extremely trained, very professional.
right.
The gear that you get when you're going for horse riding is very professional. So a lot of people had a lot of fun. I mean, people who chose horse riding.
Absolutely. So now the next aspect of training, which is trekking, right? So
Yeah,
there are these small treks to Lal Tibba and other
yeah,
places, Nag Tibba and all that.
yeah,
And then you go on a 1 week trek. So where did
yeah.
you go for the trek?
I went to Rupkund.
So did you actually trek?
Rupkund was the most difficult trek. I mean, it was so वो 1, 2, 3 लिखते हैं ना. I mean, that's the
Yes.
most difficult. Then the highest altitude was Rupkund, and I was the doctor of the group.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I had no idea why had they picked me for the most difficult trek because I
So
haven't really.
you can give a choice, isn't it? Whether you want a soft trek or a hard trek. So
Um, I
or
think they
it's
just
not there
asked
like
us
that.
to like choose the route. They gave us
Right.
like 10 routes because now
Okay.
the people are also more.
Okay.
I think in your time people also used to be like manageable. Now they're
Right.
like 400 people. So
No, but our foundation course was also 300 people. So
that's a lot. That's a lot. So
it's
they
not.
just asked just like here there's like 10 routes and then what is your first, second,
So how was
third.
your experience? What did you learn from the trek? How was your experience
Yeah, I
trekking?
was the last person, along with another friend of mine, to
Okay.
reach the height, and
Right.
it was very difficult. I mean, in the end, we had to kind of take a rope route, and we couldn't see the road also.
Right.
It's really that difficult. And I still remember that on the final day when we had to reach the summit, all of us made a human chain because the actual road it was literally like 6 inches, and there
Okay.
was a deep khai, there was a deep valley right next to us.
Okay.
So we
Was
all
it was it snowclad at around that time or not really?
the lower part was not, but the summit
Okay.
was. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So we camped for one night,
Okay.
and then we started at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And all of us, like 21 of us, made a human chain. And then if there was like a gadda in front, then the first person would kind of communicate to 21 people, ki, there's a gadda in front, gadda in front, gadda in front, gadda in front. So it would be completely there. We had a torch. But
Okay.
I think the friends that you make in all these activities are the
Right.
friends that just really know you because there's such vulnerable times.
Absolutely.
And I still remember my trek people. I still remember everybody. This is fun times.
Absolutely.
It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like that at that point.
Yeah.
We
Yeah. Yeah.
trekked for like 17 hours that
Right.
day.
Absolutely.
Very bad, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's very nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's always something which you remember about. And tell us your experience about India Day, right? So India Day, and for the aspirants, I'm just adding a bit of knowledge because they may not be aware of it. So India
Yeah,
Day is
yeah,
this 2 day program which happens in Mussoorie during the training days when all the four regions of the country, the west, the east, the north, the south, every day half a day uh, art forms of each of the regions is displayed for half a day, and you have lunch
yeah.
cuisine of one region on a particular day, dinner of another region, and same way it happens on a Saturday, Sunday. So how and which region did you participate in? Because born in
course,
Amritsar,
I have
and
always been so fascinated with different cultures. I mean, in fact, Rangarajans, if you remember, when I used to have my interviews in Officers IS Academy,
right,
there always used to be this question because my second cadre choice was Kerala.
yeah,
So, I mean, I still remember how that officer from Tamil Nadu, he took my first interview.
Santosh
So,
Babu,
Santosh
sir.
Babu, sir. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's the one question that he asked me. He was my first interviewer, and he said,
right.
"Okay, why have you put Kerala?" And he said, "You know, you've lived in Punjab and Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. You could have easily picked." And I said, I just want to go to Kerala." And then he said, "Why?" And I said, "It's beautiful." And I just laughed in the end. And then he said, "You know, it's actually a valid reason." And I said, I want to learn a new language and I want to learn a new way. So on India Day, I realized that I have now learned Malayalam. Malayalam was my language and foundation course.
Okay,
And I've been in Tamil Nadu. And, Kannada also, I have my mother-in-law is Kannada, half Kannada. So I said, कि अच्छा, Andhra Pradesh is something that I haven't really explored. So I
right,
became a Telugu for India
right,
Day. And I
right.
borrowed a sari from one of my batchmates.
Okay,
And for the day, for the morning, I was a Telugu, and in the evening, I took part in a
Bhangra,
Bhangra. Yeah, of course, I
right.
know
Yeah,
Bhangra has to be done.
okay,
So that's what we did, and it's really, really a lot. And the food was amazing.
okay.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's the part we
So,
look.
I mean, in the foundation course, obviously there is no gender disparity in Labasna, but did you find that there were some things which you found it difficult to do when compared to the men folk? Was there anything like that, or you just it's all the same there, equal, and you suffer
Honestly,
equally
I
and
mean,
you enjoy equally?
I think, now that you say, I mean, there was absolutely zero gender discrimination, and
Yeah,
that's just such a lovely memory because that's not how life is outside.
absolutely.
Especially because our hostels are not segregated into men and women, and then I can't even remember of like one incident where I felt that way that I'm being put down as a woman.
Right.
In fact, they ensured that that does not happen, and in fact, even the credit goes to a lot of men in my batch that they never made us feel that way.
And I'm just reliving my own memories of my training when I discuss it with you. But you are in it recently, and it's good to hear from you. So there is also this movie club which happens, isn't it, in the
Yeah,
Sampurnanand Auditorium?
yeah.
So they screen a lot of movies every night. So how was your experience like? So how many movies did you watch in the Sampurnanand Auditorium during the
I
foundation? Or you're a movie person or not, first of all?
I am absolutely a movie person, but when you're a movie person, you've kind of already watched a lot of movies,
Right.
a lot of what they're showing. So, but there were a lot of, I mean, I still remember there was that Newton. Newton
Okay.
was shown to us, all of us together in
Okay.
Anand. And there was
That is
a
regarding that election
election.
official. Okay,
Yeah,
Rajkumar
yeah,
Rao's movie.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's just, at in those
And
scenes
it
when they're
happen. It
like,
happens in Gadchiroli
no,
or
it's
somewhere.
it's in Chhattisgarh, based
Okay,
in
Chhattisgarh.
Chhattisgarh.
Okay. Okay.
But it's amazing, when there are like 394 people sitting in a room and it just goes like pin drop silence. You just
Right.
know that everybody is extremely involved.
Right.
And more than that, I mean, our law classes, they were amazingly better than movies. I mean, because they were modeled into plays.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember there was this autopsy session that they converted into a play, and there was like this mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law and a doctor and SDM, all roles being played by us. So
Hmm.
they used to call us like 2 days before and then prepare us for the play, and it was art and knowledge and law all combined into one.
Absolutely. Even the one act play
Yes, so I took part. I was
session.
the first time I did drama.
Okay.
I took part in the one act play.
Right.
Yeah,
So you became a stage personality as well for the first time.
first time, first play I ever did.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
really nice.
yeah.
So that was wonderful. And then take us through, some more aspects of FC, which if you remember, the village visit or some other things which you had been through.
So we had a village visit in somewhere near Bihar
Okay,
and Nalanda district,
right.
and it was really amazing because my team leader was also extremely good friend of mine.
Hmm.
Very energetic person, very passionate leader. I still remember we had this project of ODF, Open Defecation Free project, and
Right.
we went to the school. And we're thinking that, what do we do? And my team leader was very particular that, we don't do a media gimmick. But let's just do something that's kind of sustainable and something like that. So the school had a water problem, and we realized that, they were not cleaning properly because there was a water problem. So we just, in one day, we kind of got the entire pipeline done to the school, and we made sure that the water gets there. And next day we organized the Shramdan, where, everybody's contributing labor and all that. And two girls from our batch kind of went and cleaned the toilet in front of everybody. I mean, and then, the argument my team leaders gave was that, we've come from somewhere else, and even we don't really mind cleaning anybody's shit, because it's just cleaning.
Right.
And after that, it was amazing. I mean, the whole school kind of took up brooms, and they took up pani, and the whole school got so So we just like got together, and we were all cleaning the same day. And it was beautiful. And things that you learn from field is the first exposure to the field for city people,
Absolutely.
Going to the village. And we had a really nice cook. There's this gaon ka aadmi, and used to cook amazingly. And he still calls me.
Okay.
And he still has our number, and we still talk to him.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. And then in your phase one, of course, there's a lot of classroom sessions also that happens, but you are also part of this Bharat Darshan.
Yeah.
And Parliament attachment. So where all did you go as part of your Bharat Darshan? What was your experience like?
So Parliament attachment has been cut now. It happens later when we finish. I was never a traveling person. Right. I mean, in fact, as an aspirant, I used to see ki there's Bharat Darshan. I used to be, wow, this is so adventurous and this is so exciting. Absolutely. And wow, I mean, a lot of people want to come to IS because of Bharat Darshan.
Right.
So I was also like, Bharat Darshan.
In fact, I remember during our times, the deputy director used to tell us that it is actually the winter study tour. It's not some time pass darshan.
Same still happens.
Yeah.
So, but I was so excited. But then being told every third day that now you pack up your bags, now we are going to a different state. After a point of time, I was like, I don't like this anymore. I mean, I'm really enjoying being in Kerala, and, I get to be at the beaches. And then suddenly it's like, chalo, let's pack up bags and go to Pondicherry. And then you like Pondicherry, but then after 4 days, you kind of go to Karnataka. So that was, I mean, of course, it's amazing. But I think the highlight of everybody's Bharat Darshan is army attachment.
Yes.
And we went to 15 Corps, and fortunately I went to Srinagar. And it was -11 when we went there.
Okay.
And I still have not forgotten the sound that I heard when we fired an AK-47 for the first time.
Okay.
And it was covered in snow, and it's just so pristine and beautiful.
Right.
And in the middle of that, there was like this loud gunshot that we heard, and we were the ones who were firing. So it just, you think that, a lot of children kind of grow up with this.
Right.
So we saw good villages, and then we went to Kupwada, which was a black village, and then we did an area defense circle, and we realized how heavy a gun is. And I mean, leaving army was really difficult. We actually cried. I mean, after 11 days when we left our army attachment, we had made such great bonds. There had been a party and so much. And army officers are so lonely up there that leaving them kind of feels like it's our fault.
Right.
We're leaving them and going. And some of them, I mean, there's a colonel who's actually in touch with me even now. He's from Pune. And I keep telling him that, anytime you're back, we'll come see you.
Okay.
So you carry everything, carry so much back.
Absolutely. And which island did you visit? Lakshadweep or Andaman?
Andaman. It was so amazing. Like, islands are the best. Islands are the best attachments. And the food, and there's so much food that I actually remember. You go to every place, and there's just different food, there's different culture. And then, I mean, you're with your friends.
Yes.
That's the best part.
So you stayed in Havelock Island in the Andaman.
We stayed in Havelock, yeah.
So those are really memories that you cherish for a lifetime, so to speak. So, so the 9 months of training in Mussoorie, the 3 months of foundation course, followed by 6 months of phase 1 with the Bharat Darshan in between, or rather the winter study tour in between. Yeah. So it really kind of, do you think that it transforms you from being an aspirant who has just cleared the exam to being an officer with a well networked set of people? What are the things that you pick up, and how do you see it helping you in your career going forward?
Honestly, I think when academy training is happening, you're kind of really unaware of how the transformation is also happening.
Right.
It's very difficult. In those times, I still remember how we always used to blame the academy. Ke, we are not really learning anything. We are just doing maza and all that. And why are we doing trekking? And why are we doing all that? It's only in hindsight that when, you sit there giving interviews, that you
Yeah.
actually realize that, how much this has helped you and how much the whole bonding process that I now have. I mean, even look at foreign service officers, for example. I think the best friends that I had in foundation course were foreign service officers. And now it's not only the country, you actually have people spread globally.
Right.
So let's say even with COVID, I mean, today when you have to manage something like COVID, and it's helped so much that you have people around the world.
Absolutely. Yes, I could get one of my friends, very close relative from Singapore.
Yeah.
I mean, by speaking to my batchmate and taking her help. So it does.
And these are not superficial relationships.
Exactly.
I mean, these are like, and you don't even have to talk to these people every day. It's just
Absolutely.
like when you call them, they just remember this part of you
Right.
that was there with you at that time. Just so helpful, so helpful.
Absolutely. And the 2-3 top takeaways from the training, if you have to summarize, before we move to your sub-collectors and district training and sub-collector training.
Yeah. Top 3 takeaways. I think one would be to really keep your mind open. I've realized that a lot of people like mingling with people who are from their areas and people who speak their language and people who are like them. But
Right.
the academy is kind of one place and one chance for people to actually not do that.
Okay.
I mean, if you've been given an opportunity to kind of open up yourself to a lot of different cultures, then take it.
Absolutely.
It's one of those chances. And opening up doesn't necessarily restrict to meeting new people. It's also to do something that you've never done. It was drama for me. I mean,
Yes.
I could never open up. I always thought I was really bad at it, and maybe I did a bad job at this stage. But who
Doesn't matter.
cares?
It's about
I mean, yeah.
it's about participating.
Academy really builds that up in you.
Right.
Secondly, I mean, academy is not going to make a lot of sense always. But you have to kind of understand that there are things that you're ingraining subtly, and you're making friendships which are going to help you a little later,
Right.
a lot later in life. And
Yes.
there's just so much premium to building that at that point of time.
Absolutely.
And the third takeaway that I have to say is that, don't believe in labels. I mean, KTP, for example, I was the secretary of the social services club, and
Right.
I just, there was a lot of work that I did there because I was fascinated. It was field work for me.
Yes.
So, teaching children. And in fact, one of the partnerships that
And to be honest, it was not that KTPs were ostracized in the academy or anything like that. It was just a fun way of,
yeah, of course.
of telling that they are more
Yeah.
studious than others, so to speak.
So, yeah, but I mean, I just want, a lot of people, when you're in a group, it's so
Right.
difficult to kind of find yourself and just
Absolutely.
say that, this is who is me. But
Right.
academy is again a place for discovering that, and one should focus on that.